Welcome to another episode of F That Job, the show about shitty jobs, the people who work them and the people who escape them. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Rashawn P.
I'm Chad.
And welcome to another episode. So, this is another special in-person guest episode with somebody that I've known for a long time. I think we've known everybody for a very long time.
Everybody from since high school. Everyone.
Right.
It's all Wilson alumni. That's all we fucking with right
now. and another one where I was able to see the whole story and I was able to see the whole grind and somebody that definitely deserved his flowers, definitely put in the work out there, just like making it happen. And yeah, man, he's just doing it, man. My man doing this thing. And I don't want to tell his story. I'm gonna let him tell his story. So we're gonna ask a couple questions and get right into it. So everybody, welcome Phresh Vision.
It's good, y'all. What's going on?
Yeah. All right. So before we get started on your story, we ask every guest the same question to start off the interview. What's the first time you ever said "fuck that job"? Or you was at work and you was just like, man, fuck this shit. This working shit ain't for me. This job ain't for me. These, whatever it is.
I was kind of probably always a relatively lazy employee, so I think I kind of said it, and they said it for me. I got fired from like my first job, so I knew it wasn't for me ever since.
Well, what was that? What was that job? What was you working?
Like in a kitchen somewhere. Nothing crazy.
And what they fired you for?
I just got away with not doing much for a long time, and I got fired for doing it. So.
And I gotta say that, on some Soldier Boy shit, I'm the first person to get Phresh Vision in front of the camera telling that story. I'm the first. Wait, I think this is the first one. So yeah. So being lazy, but ironically, right?
Not lazy though. I showed up. I was attentive. I got things done. I just didn't work in the manner to which they wanted me to. Kind of did it in my way. So.
Yeah. So I guess that kind of pushes you into doing your own thing.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Your own schedule, you kind of build that thing from the ground up and you get to work at your own pace. Right? Mm-hmm. So when you start doing videography, right?
So before you jump into it, just explain, because everybody not gonna know exactly who you are and all that other stuff. So just give a quick, explanation of who you are, what you do, and all that stuff.
My name's Phresh. I'm a cinematographer, videographer, whatever you want to put your title on it. I run a company called Phresh Vision Productions with my business partner Tyler, my boy IC Frames. I do a lot of stuff. I can't really we'll get into it in the interview.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
So getting started with that, right? What was the thing that made you go into like this business, this whole realm? Like what made you jump into that?
Like specific story is I was watching like a smack battle one day and I was on Twitter and then this person I knew on Twitter worked at Best Buy and they told me like their boy was doing the smack content at that time and what camera they was using, and it was a Canon T2i. I looked into it, T3i came out. I told all my friends like, yeah, I'm about to try this. I rallied them all up. Like we went out there like 4 deep. Cause I was super excited to buy that shit. It's like, yeah, I know this shit about to change my life. Pardon me, I don't mean to curse.
You can put
my mom about
that's
to
literally
but Yeah, so I bought that camera and the rest is history. I stuck with it.
So before before that moment where on Twitter and finding out how what the person was using to shoot the content with, did you have um any like draw tours, photography, videography, or anything like that
Yeah,
before?
that wasn't like my first time
Okay.
having a camera in my hand, like or being a part of productions. Like my parents are creative. My mother writes and directs plays and worked at the U of R theater, and I grew up in that and doing set design and painting and lighting and all that shit. So,
So it's kind of like in your blood, like you
yeah.
kind of was built for this.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
so that makes sense. Yeah. So at what point? So you started there with the T3i with the Canon T3i. What
Mm.
was the first thing you shot with that camera?
The first thing I shot is like a vlog. Like, yeah, the first thing I shot when the camera came out the box is a vlog. We went to like Krugco, the skate shop. It's like skate decks and Nike SBs and all types of shit we was into at that time. We ain't do nothing. It's cool though. It's still up there.
Uh,
I watch it from time to time.
So you got the T3i, you start, you shoot the, a crowd code, a skate shop thing, and then, but you start getting music videos, right? Start shooting music videos, and that's something first off, them shits are amazing. So like, y'all get an opportunity, y'all leave this video, y'all go to his
Appreciate it.
page, YouTube page, Phresh Vision, look at the videos, you might see somebody you recognize if you go further enough back. But you started shooting music videos, right? And like that, I think that kind of built the base, right?
Definitely, that definitely built it. Started shooting music videos because I came to a show that you had at like Loving Cup,
Hmm.
and I think I had a camera on me. I might have filmed it there, but just asked you to shoot a video, and we got it done. That was like the first project I did, and then I think the second one was for Golden.
Hmm.
We
Shout
used
out
to
to
work
Golden.
together in that kitchen. I got fired of. So that was like the first two music video projects, and it was up from there. Cause we always had culture here. Like we had the Dublin Underground, and I used to go there. I got footage from there.
Mhm.
All types of. It's always been here.
yeah.
So it's just like captured and put out there for everybody to go back to now. But
So when you and keeping it on F that job, right? So you got your own business. Like you shooting music videos, that's building the base up, right? You're doing that. But like we know people flake with all type of like BS, you know what I mean? Like it's something obviously that you wanted to do, or something that you actually enjoy doing, right?
mm,
But what is what is like the pitfalls of shooting music videos early. Let's not talk about recent yet, right? Like early, what was like some of those like struggles and obstacles like early from shooting music videos?
uh, the scheduling is like terrible, and like the clientele you're dealing with, like people who are beginning to rap,
Hmm.
don't really understand business, so they kind of want everything to go their way. It's very difficult to like be the person that's going out in your city or neighborhood and capture everything and put it out and be fair to everybody and deal with the politics of it. It's like it's not for everybody. So we definitely got to appreciate the 10, 15, 20 people we got in that role now in the city.
Are people asking you, early? Are people asking you to do pretty much impossible shit? Because like we grew up, as we growing up, right? We grew up in the '90s. We see the
Hype
$1 Million music
Williams.
video, right? The
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes, the Missy Elliott, the
Mhm.
Outkast, the Bad Boy videos, right? We see all of that. Are people asking you to do like pretty much impossible shit with no
Oh
type
yeah,
of
for sure. With just like brain power and whatever resources I could bring. It's like I still get that now though. People don't understand what goes into producing content. Like even the stuff that goes viral these days, it's like thought out and some type of system in place to make sure that we saw it. People don't think that way.
So I want to step back for a second. So, so you said when you first started out, you was just kind of carrying your camera around
Hmm.
everywhere, and I take it you was still probably working. I don't know if you was working in that kitchen or wherever,
Yeah.
but like, at what point did it go from you carrying your camera around, just shooting stuff around the city, just recording content, to shooting, music videos, to starting out with local artists shooting music videos? At what point were you like, you want to know what? I'm about to go all in on this. Like, I don't need to, you know, be worried about something else as like my primary source of income no more.
Um, I built up enough value to where like I knew I could make more money if I left the job. The job I was working at that time wasn't paying like a lot of money, so I figured if I could come up with a schedule to shoot X amount of videos per week, I could just not deal with that, and it worked, but it wasn't really like the smartest thing to do, I wouldn't say.
Why
I
would you
look
say
back
that?
at it because you have to shoot, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't do that now, but I had to work to get to the point where I could be like, okay, I don't have to shoot, but
So you kind of become a slave to your own time. Like,
hmm
you only making money when you actually out
yeah,
on the street, like shooting videos and all that other kind of stuff. You can't really, you gotta, like, to eat, you gotta keep
yeah,
putting out more and more videos and all that other stuff. Yeah, I feel
facts. But it was worth it though.
you. I'm pretty sure during that time you built up a lot of skills that you're using now. So it's
Hmm.
kind of like sound like it was kind of like a training ground for you to like get to the point where you're at now.
Facts,
Yeah.
definitely.
So starting that, leaving that job and then going off and doing your own thing, right? Um, Running a business, obviously, it costs money to get everything going, right?
Mm.
So how are you like supplementing that, or is it just like just the going crazy on the grind and like,
Um, at the time I was doing videos like outside shooting music videos in every neighborhood. It's like four people doing it. So I was making so much money, I was just willing to put it back into it. I was like, okay, I could stop doing this now.
Mm.
But when it stopped working for me, I stopped doing it. But always been about reinvesting into just betting it. Fuck it. Like I don't care.
so reinvesting? And obviously, at this point, you've been doing this over 10 years. So at this point, like you obviously making profits and all of that, right?
Mm.
But starting that business off, how long was it before you started like, you know, turning a profit on what you was actually doing? When you started seeing like the fruits of your labor, like actually,
Um, that's a good question. I can't really say. Maybe like 5 years.
like 5 years.
Yeah, like maybe 5 years.
And that's hard to be on that grind like that. And
Hmm.
like, yo, I'm at least a year, 2, 3 years out before I start really seeing like what's going on. And I still left my job,
But
you
you
know.
don't know that though. Like when I was in the middle of, oh, if I could sell 30 videos a month for
Mhm.
$500, if I when I was doing that, I really thought that's how it was gonna work. So that was my driving force. It was the wrong driving force in my opinion, but
Cause
it got me
how were you
moving.
sleeping
Um,
doing
nah,
that?
I still don't sleep. Like if you're gonna be behind a camera or editing or shooting or anything creative, you're probably not gonna sleep 4 hours.
So moving away from music videos, right? And we'll get back to that because like you've shot some pretty dope, what I would call like some, iconic shit.
Hmm.
Um Moving away from that, what other projects, what was like the first big project that you took on other than like shooting music videos?
That's a tough question. What's a big project?
Or what was the? oh, I want to add to that. What was the first big project? But what was also like that moment where you was like, oh no, I got this. Like I could do this shit for it. You know what I mean? Like maybe it was the same time when you decided to like leave like a regular day job to take this on, but like at what point were you just like, nah, like this is what I'm doing. This is what, you know what I mean? This is what I do. This is who I am. This is kind of like my shit. Was it like, was it that first big
Uh,
project? Was it like getting to work with like a bigger artist, or what was that moment too?
uh, I'm kind of like having moments of starting to just feel like that now.
Mm.
Like I don't know what I could talk about. Feel me?
We can edit it. Don't worry.
I mean, or you
Yeah,
don't got
yeah,
to be specific
yeah,
either. You
yeah,
can
yeah.
just
You
say
don't
I'm
have to
working
be
with
specific. Yeah,
certain
yeah,
artists, or you know, what I mean, you ain't got to say
yeah,
the name or any of that shit. But
but I always worked with the biggest or like most popping artists in my city, and that's what meant the most to me. I never wanted to go to like try to go to another city and get in on what they got going on. The way that it worked for me, means the most to me, type shit.
I always respected that about you, and always liked that. Me and you have over the years have had like a lot of conversations about things, but you was always big on like, yo, this is what I got. This is what we have here. Like, utilize the resources you have in front of you versus trying to go outsource somewhere. That we just talked about this before the show. Like trying to go outsource somewhere or go out of town somewhere
Mm,
to like capitalize off something you didn't build, like
right.
something that's not authentically you. And you always been on top of that type of thing. I always respected that.
Appreciate it. A lot of stuff musically or just culturally is about to come to this area, so it's a good time for it. I don't know if people pay attention to everything that's going on here, but that's kind of what I want to get into, highlighting more of that shit.
Being close to music, why'd you never get into managing artists? I know we spoke about that before too, a while
Uh,
ago.
I didn't have the resources that I felt like I needed. Now I feel like I could contribute enough to an artist to the point that it could make sense, but I would have to have the time. I
mhm,
just want to do something and know it's gonna work. Like when I set my eye on doing a film project, I pretty much know like we can execute this and it's gonna come out like this. I kind of want to have the same approach with managing or consulting or whatever it is. Try to do like consulting now, but it's shit tricky, man.
People don't listen.
Nah, it ain't even people don't listen. It's just like I can't put a price on a lot of shit that I do, so I kind of
Right.
just do shit that I want to do and take what I could get out of it as far as like money. Like I'm not in super business mode. Like I could go weeks without making money, but I could do four things. But them four things will make me money in the next 4 months because of who I did them with.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
So what's that balance like of being a creative and being an entrepreneur at the same time? Like you kind of touched on it there, but like does it ever get to a point where you feel like, oh shit, like I need to go out and like I'm too focused on the art, like I need to go out and try to fucking make some
all
money
the
right
time,
now.
all the time. But if it ain't, if the art not clicking, then the brand die.
Yeah.
Like that shit got to be priority. I feel like I spend a lot of time trying to move with direction that like I just make the brand look good. To me, everything I'm doing feel normal because they seeds that was planted 5 years ago. It's natural progression and shit. It's just everybody going up and trying to do what they could do with what they doing. But I just try to do the right things, man. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
So what's
We asking real like interviewee questions right now. I really want to get into some shit though, but
Go ahead.
I don't know.
before
I don't even care.
But let's get the
before we let's get all the interviewee shit
yeah.
out of the way
All
first.
right.
Um, so what's like your ultimate goal with like Fresh Vision? Like
Um,
what do you, like is it movies? Is it like big budget? What's the ultimate goal? Like if you had to in 5, 10 years, like what's like the project that you like gotta have done?
Personally, a project for me. Uh, that's a tough question. Damn, there's so many different things I want to do. Ultimate goal for me is to create like a legitimate minority owned production company that's competing with like an Optic Sky or
Mm.
like those are people that do like Wegmans commercials
Yeah,
and shit. Like I want to build up to that level because they need to tap into what we got, our culture, and be represented. Our voice need to be represented in them spaces too. So that's what I'm trying to create. That's what I'm trying to stay focused on upstate.
yeah.
But yeah, tough. That's why I'd be having to edit what I'm saying everywhere. I'm trying to cross the line.
No, I feel you. But it seemed it's kind of a like a common thread throughout your career of like trying to dominate your current space versus I mean like you I mean if anybody follow you on social media they could see you kind of like here and there all over shooting stuff with different people different cities different states and stuff like that but it always draw back to creating shit here in the upstate New York and Rochester
For sure.
and making sure that you like on top of shit here in this space so like that's respectable because a lot of people like you were saying a lot of people they start to get on and they gonna run somewhere else where like the scene already big and try
Mm,
to attach their name on another scene and try to let that shit bring them up even further.
for
But
sure.
it feel like when you go out and do shit, you just giving your sauce to other people, but you're not like attaching it
Mm,
to them. You just
yeah,
giving it out and then bringing it back here, recharging it, letting it grow here, and that's commendable. A lot of people
appreciate it.
ain't working in that manner.
Appreciate you even noticing that. A lot of people don't.
No, they looking for the next wave to hop on and then just like go from there versus just creating their own thing.
Uh,
That's usually how that be working. Um, so so we'll start out with this, right? Day to day, doing this day to day. You know, what is the what is the thing that make you say? Because we all be there, right? We all be there with everything that we do. We all get to a point where it's like, yo, man, F this, man. I'm good, yo. Like, what's the thing that makes you like frustrated where you just be like, yo, just throw your hands up about what you're doing.
Uh, storage. Storage is like I should have brought my book bag. Like,
I mean, I've been watching stories lately where, you show your fucking hard drives. Nigga got
yeah,
like look like a nigga got a book bag full of hard drives. It's
yeah,
like,
like yeah, like carrying it like across the country. Like it's a battle, but I'm just trying to document everything that I'm a part of in the highest quality and hold it for
yeah,
whenever the time. I've been on that before, like the Yeezy Genius doc, but
yeah. That's exactly what
especially
came to
after,
mind when you
yeah.
said that.
So I just be trying to make sure I'm doing what I'm doing. But storage, man, on them cinema cameras, terrible.
Mm.
Make you want to quit.
So, working with different artists, going across the country, back and forth, all around. You've been on a tour, a couple tours, doing your thing, right? And then you come back here and you work with younger artists or people who's like, still trying to build their thing, younger independent artists, whatever like that. But you've been on the tour life, right? Is it for everybody? Is it for
Nah,
every do these people know what they're getting into or what they think they're getting into?
nah, not at all. Not at all. It's like I think I was like, how did the tour go? Landed in Dallas. Show was in Dallas. I got there a day early. Show was in Dallas. We went to sleep. Got up. Drove to Houston. Show was in Houston. Got up. Drove to San Antonio. And then after San Antonio show, I drove back to Dallas to fly back to New York. Probably slept like 45 minutes in a parking lot on the way back, like a Walmart parking lot from San Antonio to Dallas. And that's when I heard Takeoff dies. I'm like, damn, let me get out this state, man. This shit
Right.
bothering me, man.
That was one of the next things I was gonna ask you. So even moving around like that, like as far as like just being like safety and security, like right, just like with all the crazy shit that's going on, over the last few years and just going on period, right?
Mm.
Um, like how do you take precaution to make sure that you gonna stay, that you safe? Or like what you scoping out before you walk into a place or you go into a city like, damn, I know this shit might be going on over here, or I've been hearing about this. Like, what do you?
I mean, I want to piggyback on that too, because I mean, being somebody who's moving around with expensive camera equipment, shooting some videos. I mean, niggas shoot videos in some wild places sometimes. Like what? Yeah, like how you maintain like fuck like damn, I don't really want to bring my camera around these niggas. Like I don't know, like you ever get into that situation? Like what is the safety of
I
that
used
kind of
I
shit?
used to like I used to take bookings like off Instagram and pull up anywhere. So like those days were dangerous, but now it's like certain people call my phone and I know who they are and I know if they having me pull up there, it's pretty much something that's safe that they stamp. So
Yeah,
um tour, I haven't been on the road with any like super rowdy acts. Feel me? These dudes, they done lived life already. They just trying to get this money and go. So it be calm. But I'm just blessed to be able to find a way to navigate through dealing with hip hop and not encountering like people who want to go places and have ego contests with niggas and
yeah.
I ain't gotta deal with that. So lucky.
Speaking of that, and speaking like the violence and shit in hip hop, can you do something for me, please, and do something for the world and all about the young artists that are aspiring and they growing up and they doing right the guns in the music videos. Can you just tell the youth something,
Yeah,
man? tell them something.
um, y'all don't really need like to put guns in your music videos, like,
Do people care? I don't care when I watch it. Having a
but
gun in a video makes no difference to me. Do I like the song? Like, is
I
it?
I personally haven't done it in years. Like I had a stage where I used to run around and shoot those type of videos, but mentally it wasn't it didn't sit right with me to do it, so I don't shoot anything I feel like is pushing negativity, but shit, at the same time, I know somebody feel like if I don't shoot it, somebody gonna shoot it, so I'm not telling y'all not to shoot it, but shit, get props, do something, but it's not
Please get
worth going to
props.
jail for it, man.
Please get some
Cause
props.
they will come to everybody house and ask for footage, whatever, man. So it ain't worth it.
So, what's the best part about the tour life?
That was like my first actual tour I've been on type shit.
Well, when I
Um,
say tour life, right? Because I know, like, when I know that, like I said, I know you be pretty much all over the country. It may not necessarily be a tour, but
yeah, I
like,
kind of move around by myself a lot. I just started doing that probably like in the last 2 years, going places by myself and just trying to mix with people that I know and finding my way. Um, I like it. I love it. I could walk around and be super regular. Sometimes Rochester, I could go out and not really want to be in character, as far as like the video guy,
hmm
and have to go out and interact with people on that time. And I appreciate it, but that shit don't really be a reflection of where I'm at sometimes. Like I'm on something else, and maybe talk about 2017 sometimes, but I'd be like,
you're being extremely humble right now. I just would like to say, like,
no,
but I get it. You try, but you being
but
extremely,
I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. I just be getting to experience different places, man. It's cool. Like I love it. I think I know a lot about what's going on in a lot of places, and I take it for granted sometimes. But
what's been the most memorable place or the that you've been to so far to work? Like, what's been the like place where you've been like, damn, I need to come back. Like, I can't wait to go back there. Or, like, or your favorite place to work.
I like different places for different reasons. I can't name a favorite. Probably my favorite place I ever been to film something was Hawaii. We went to a few places over there and
See
just
what I
shot
mean
like
about being humble? Same shit Kyrie did with the Jamaica shit.
It never released though. We got to try to get that together. It was right before COVID. We was trying to start like uh a travel like YouTube,
Mhm.
and we just fell off, man. Really.
Mm.
We get back to it. Footage ain't going nowhere. It's still there.
That's a whole different. Again, that's a whole different part of the game, right? We talking music videos, we talking documentaries, we talking like vlogs, and now you got the travel thing going. So that's very keeping it very multifaceted. I guess would be the word. Yeah.
Try to.
So so other than here, right? Because your business is getting bigger and it's growing, your brand is growing, getting bigger, whatever like that. Are you thinking about like setting up shop somewhere else because you be all over, or do you got something like a situation already set up like that?
I don't know. I got so many other skills that I developed through running like a production company and making films with $0 that I know I could do anything. I feel like, or I could put it together a team that could run anything or any business or operation. I want to lean more into that type of thing because I'm getting older, man. I can't be in the field trying to film for hours a day, every day.
What are you doing for like when you work in those hours and you going crazy? You say you slept 45 minutes on that Texas run. Like, what are you doing for like self-care? Like, how are you keeping yourself regulated?
Nothing.
No, man.
Coming home and sleeping for 2, 3 days and then getting back to it. When I come home, I don't really be doing much, man. I be taking walks and trying to figure out what's next. Feel me? I kind of don't know what I'm doing for the rest of the year. So it's freestyle.
Yeah, don't do no more weekends with 45 minutes of sleep, man. Like that's
Nah, I'm talking about I took a 45-minute nap in the car on the drive back. I slept. They ain't do me like that.
What is like a typical day of shooting for you now when you got a project to do? Like how like take us through that day. Like what like I mean I know that's all gonna be a little bit different depending on what you're working on and who you're working with and all that other kind of stuff, but
Mm.
I'm pretty sure it's a common thread throughout all of them how they kind of go. Like what's that workflow like? Like get up in the morning, do this, do that, like edit like you coming right back home and editing everything right away, or you like what's that workflow kind of like?
Um, I haven't really done a lot of editing recently. I try to not deal with it, but depending on what project it is, I edit it. But I typically get everything prepped the night before. I don't want to deal with it the day of. Uh, Shit, I got a camera right there. I might just have to show you the camera.
yeah. Go
Yeah, go
get
ahead.
pull up.
Oh,
There you go.
it's what I'm basically working with now. It's a red Komodo, and we deal with trying to find storage. This is a 512 gig card. It's like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what you get on 512. So my
Shit, crazy.
whole
Yeah.
operation is like I have to find storage, whether it's this or Black Magic. Find storage for what you about to shoot and find somewhere to dump it. But I got like 2 terabytes on my like actual MacBook, so I could just dump kind of quick. And
Yeah.
that's it though. Like shuffling that storage, man, it's not worth it. Really,
Are you keeping everything that you've been doing like over the years? Like you have everything?
nah, not everything.
So I can't get none of my old videos
Nah, I got those.
you got those?
Yeah,
See, niggas fuck with me, man.
I don't got everything. Like I've done so many. Like I've done projects for people that I don't even remember them.
Mhm.
Like it was just a point where I was,
Just going.
yeah,
Yeah.
like 10 a week. Like I used to do a lot of videos, but I
And
got
all just
burnt
run
out.
together, huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Self-care, man. You gotta take a break and you know what I mean?
yeah, my lifestyle a little different now. It's not that bad.
What would you tell yourself back then, as far as like how to prepare yourself for what's to come in these next 10 years?
I would try to tell myself, I got the control. As far as like these clients, they try to boss you around and
See,
be
it's
a
coming out.
certain
It's
way.
coming out. See?
Like you got the control. Like they need what you got as a creator, and that's for like anybody that's new coming up, getting ready to start too. Like if the situation not right, you could leave. They're gonna have a hard time finding somebody to do what you do. So
So basically, if you don't
stand
like it,
firm
then fuck that job.
for sure.
Y'all know I love a full circle moment, man.
There you go. Just brought it right back around.
Yeah. So give us your contact, man. Give us
Social media, how people can reach out to you if I mean, you ain't doing $500 videos.
no more 500. Yeah, yeah.
So,
It's Phresh Vision with a PHRESH Vision on Instagram. That's the only social media I really use. Yeah, man. See what we got going on there. Phresh Vision Productions. That's my production company. We got a YouTube with behind the scenes. You can see what we do. We got gaffers, Steadicam, AC, all types of. I want to grow that to be able to teach other people these roles and grow that company and build it into something that's like something that can employ people in the city in the next 10, 15, 20 years. It don't always got to be me shooting or directing or none of that. Just trying to figure it out, man.
My guy, appreciate
for
you.
sure.
Um, Again, everybody, that's Phresh Vision. He don't really be messing with the social media like that. So Phresh Vision on Instagram with the PHRESH Vision. And another episode.